As the anticipation builds for the release of The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, horror fans around the world are once again diving into the chilling world of the paranormal. But did you know that the Smurl family's terrifying haunting played a major role in inspiring this popular franchise? In the latest Conjuring film, the real-life paranormal investigators, Ed and Lorraine Warren, are once again called to confront an evil far beyond the ordinary, a demonic force that is as real as it is terrifying. The Smurl haunting, one of the most horrific cases investigated by the Warrens, is a true story that shocked the world. If you've seen the Conjuring films, you've witnessed just a small piece of the Smurl family's story, which is more terrifying and bizarre than anything Hollywood could create. Today, we're diving deep into the true story of the Smurl haunting, a case of evil that remains unsolved, leaving the Smurls forever haunted by the malevolent presence that tormented them for over a decade. Stay with us as we explore the terrifying details of the Smurl family's ordeal and discover the truth behind one of the most famous paranormal cases in history. In 1974, the Smurl family, consisting of Jack, Janet, and their 2 children, moved into a duplex in the quiet town of West Pittston, Pennsylvania. The home seemed perfect at first, a quiet neighborhood, plenty of space, and an affordable price. But soon after they moved in, strange things began happening. It started subtly. Odd smells, the occasional flickering light, and strange noises that seemed to come from nowhere. At first, the family brushed it off as minor inconveniences. But what they didn't know was that these were the early signs of something far more sinister. Within months, the disturbances became more pronounced. Janet Smurl, the mother, would often smell a foul odor in the house, a mix of rotting meat and sulfur, which would appear out of nowhere. Furniture began to shift on its own, and the family heard the sounds of footsteps in empty rooms. Their dog, normally calm, began to act strange, barking and growling at unseen forces. The house, once a sanctuary, now felt oppressive, and the Smurls started to feel like they were living in a nightmare. Then, the disturbances began to take a physical toll. Objects began to fly across the room without explanation, and the family felt as though they were being watched, even when they were alone. The atmosphere in the house grew heavy and cold, and every day seemed like a battle to survive the growing terror. As the days turned into weeks, the family members began experiencing physical symptoms. Janet Smurl reported being pushed and shoved by an unseen force, and Jack Smurl was thrown across the room by what they could only describe as a violent, supernatural presence. But the worst was yet to come. At night, Janet would hear whispers and feel an unseen presence watching her. On one occasion, she was pinned to her bed by an invisible force, unable to move or cry out for help. Their children, too, were affected. They reported being visited by shadowy figures in their rooms. Fear consumed the Smurls, but they were trapped in their own home, with no way to escape the terror that awaited them each night. After enduring months of unexplained events, the Smurls sought help. In 1977, they contacted renowned paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren. The Warrens, famous for their work on the Amityville horror case, arrived at the Smurl home to investigate. Upon arrival, they immediately sensed the malevolent energy in the house. The Warrens claimed that the family was not dealing with a typical haunting, but rather a powerful demonic presence. The Warrens conducted several investigations and brought in clergy members to perform prayers and blessings in an attempt to cleanse the house. But despite their best efforts, the disturbances only grew stronger. The demons seemed to grow in power, mocking the exorcisms and tormenting the family even more. The Warrens attempted several exorcisms in the house, but they were far from successful. During one exorcism, the demon allegedly physically attacked the priests, knocking them to the ground and taunting the Warrens with cruel, mocking laughter. The Smurls, desperate and at their wits' end, felt they had no choice but to continue enduring the torment. The family's psychological state began to deteriorate. They were living in constant fear, unsure of when the next terrifying event would occur. Sleep deprivation, fear, and anxiety began to take their toll. Their home, once filled with warmth and love, now felt like a prison. As news of the Smurl haunting spread, the case caught the attention of the media. Stories about the family's experiences were broadcast across the country, drawing public fascination. Some believed the Smurl's story was genuine, while others questioned whether they were exaggerating or fabricating the events for attention. The family faced harsh scrutiny from skeptics who accused them of seeking fame or making money from their suffering. Yet the Smurls never wavered in their belief that they were being haunted by a powerful demonic force, but the media attention only added to their stress and fear. They found themselves constantly in the spotlight, and their lives were further disrupted by the relentless public interest. The Smurls found their emotional and psychological health deteriorating as the haunting continued. Jack and Janet's relationship was tested to its breaking point. The constant fear and exhaustion took a toll on their marriage and their ability to care for their children. The family was torn apart by the stress of living in a haunted house, with each member suffering in their own way. The children, once full of life, were now terrified to sleep alone or be in their rooms. The haunting had robbed them of their childhood innocence, leaving them fearful and anxious. Despite their attempts to fight back, the family felt powerless to stop the terror they were facing. After more than a decade of suffering, the Smurls finally made the decision to leave their home in 1987. The house on Chase Street had become a symbol of their torment, and they could no longer live in constant fear. Although they moved out, the emotional scars of their experience would stay with them forever. The haunting had taken everything from them: their peace, their sense of security, and their faith in the world around them. To this day, the Smurl haunting remains one of the most controversial and debated paranormal cases in history. The events of their experience sparked widespread discussions about the existence of demons, hauntings, and the supernatural. Some believe the Smurls were the victims of a genuine demonic presence, while others claim the story was fabricated for attention. Regardless of what people believe, the Smurl haunting continues to be a chilling example of the power of the unknown. The family's experience has been featured in books, documentaries, and films, ensuring that the story of the Smurl haunting will be remembered as one of the most terrifying paranormal cases in history. As we wrap up the haunting story of the Smurl family, one thing becomes abundantly clear. Some experiences are so terrifying and unexplainable that they transcend the boundaries of fiction. While the Conjuring films continue to bring these supernatural cases to life on the big screen, the truth behind the Smurl haunting remains as chilling and unresolved as ever. Despite years of investigations, exorcisms, and countless attempts to rid their home of the demonic presence, the Smurls were never fully freed from the terror they endured. The evil they encountered seemed to resist all efforts to be banished, leaving the family forever changed. To this day, their story remains one of the most controversial and frightening cases in paranormal history. So, as you watch The Conjuring 4 and dive into the terrifying world of the Warrens, remember, that some stories are rooted in real, unsettling events. The Smurl haunting serves as a chilling reminder that sometimes the line between the supernatural and reality is far thinner than we might like to believe. What do you think? Is this just another terrifying Hollywood tale? Or is there something darker, something more real behind the supernatural? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this dive into one of the most terrifying paranormal cases of all time, don't forget to like and subscribe for more spine-chilling stories. Until next time, stay safe and stay skeptical.